Oh, muted.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Stop eating.
I'm still trying to recover from that jump scare shit.
Truth.
Welcome back to IGN Live.
That should
from
be the
Gamescom
name of this
2018.
show.
I'm Damon
3, 2,
Hatfield.
1, boom.
It's time to take a look at Darksiders 3. I'm joined by David and Reinhardt to fill us in on all the juicy details. Gentlemen, welcome to the IGN stage.
Thank you.
So Darksiders 3, we're going to kick off some gameplay here, and I think this is right at the beginning of the game. And this time around, we're playing as Horsewoman of the Apocalypse, Fury, right?
Yeah. So Fury is the third of the four horsemen. We always gave every game has a unique hero and also unique personality to the game, right? So we are here in the start of the game. We're seeing Fury fighting with her whip, and that's a really special thing, like fighting with the whip, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's a pretty. It's a different type of weapon for Darksiders, right?
Yeah,
wow, the cars.
I mean, it's been.
Oh, you can do the RB
even
dodge thing where it
so
slows
when we started
down.
The game, we're like, all right, we definitely have
You
to
dodge
make the whip work
the
no
way
matter what.
perfectly.
And,
I like that shit.
Go ahead.
no, it just ended up being a really cool weapon
Yeah.
and a change of pace.
So this is the start of the game, and it looks like we're here on Earth, right?
Yeah, we wanted to get back to Earth. The second one kind of went
like.
fantasy. It went into like the underworld and all these other crazy worlds, but we love that sort of like destroyed Earth, angels, demons fighting over the carcass.
This is fun.
Feel of the first one, so we went back to it for the third one.
Yeah, and so the basic setup is after the
I've
prologue of Darksiders
played
1,
a little bit of
in
one.
between,
It was great,
after the
just-
prologue
I
of
gotta get back
Darksiders
to one, yeah.
the
I
seven
love
deadly
the
sins were released
controls.
and unleashed on Earth, yeah. And they took
Really?
their spots in like the environments on Earth, and you get like from the Charge Council, which is like the body that.
I
Like,
love the
governs all,
concept
like,
of
the
it. It's
horsemen,
really
the
something.
mission to
Ooh, that dodge
find
was
them and, like, capture
awesome.
them.
I see. Yeah, so Fury's out to hunt down the 7 deadly sins.
Correct.
And I think
That
maybe we'll
is
see
slow-mo
one of them
done,
later
right?
on. in the
We
story.
will
Okay.
pretty soon, yeah.
What sort of new combat?
And this is just the start of the game,
abilities
so
and
imagine what
opportunities
skills you
does
will
the whip
get
I
down the
think
line.
one of the biggest things for us
Oh,
is
barbecue.
we changed the pacing of the game a little bit because we didn't want it to be. It used to be in like Darksiders, you'd go into a room and like 100 guys would attack you and the barriers would come up. For this one, we wanted it to be much more tactical as far as it's a little more. You have to pay attention to individual enemies and their patterns and how they move about the environment. And so the pacing of the whip kind of feeds into that. It's not as fast as Death's Sights were, but it's got a lot of cool tactical options as far as like it's got the same variety of combos and that sort of thing.
But as far as the games, I think we're going to meet some
Yes.
important characters here.
This is the first
Back to
sim
back,
for Envy.
72 hour
So you're
stream.
like 2 minutes in the game. You have
Same
boss
here, I
fight,
gotta get through
that's
it.
the
I
first
love it.
scene. Yeah.
Love it. Keep things exciting.
Yeah.
So what do we need to know about Envy?
Incredible.
I don't think it fits
Envy
though.
is, you'll see in a second, like a weird bird creature. I think because we wanted you to start you right away with the boss,
Ooh.
we use this as sort of a tutorial to also teach you a lot of the traversal mechanics. So you'll see in this fight, you do a lot of jumping, and the whip can actually be used to swing around the environment too. So she can like latch onto things and swing, and she can pull enemies to her with the whip.
Oh,
So you
okay.
learn a lot of that in the fight, but it's also like a really cool cinematic and actually slightly challenging fight at the same time.
Yeah, so that's also our take for Darksiders 3. I think it's the most story-focused Darksiders game with a very personal story to Fury. We like spent a lot of effort on like these cutscenes and explaining the story and making sure like the player gets really sucked into the world.
And you get a cool sense of Fury's character in it. Like, War was super stoic. Death was like, I don't care about anything but my brother.
Oh, when
but
he's
she
a
actually seems to enjoy what she's doing, and you can kind of get a sense for this in the cutscene. Where
Why
she's
the
like,
creators
"I
of
don't
the
care
game
about
don't
my
even
friend, I'm gonna
sound
kill you."
excited about their own?
And she actually seems to enjoy it. Which
Yeah,
is
we
kinda
did
cool.
this.
Who is the shadowy individual that's sort of?
It should be
That's for
awesome.
watchers. So
You
we'll
will
have
enjoy it.
watch
She has a
over
whip.
Darksiders 1, which was voice acted by Mark Hamill, which was kind of cool. And then Death didn't have one because he was off kind of doing his own thing.
Yeah.
She, of course, because she's doing the bidding.
It
of the
will
council,
get
she
so
has a watcher that
exciting
follows
by
her
the
around
end.
as well.
Envy kind of reminds me of the Skeksis from the Dark Crystal.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that was kind of the inspiration.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's true. We'll actually get to see War and Death at least one point in this game.
Yes, you saw it in the gameplay trailer. We just
Right.
released
Yeah.
a little scene where Fury
Nice. I
Death.
love
Oh,
that.
they're
concept.
gonna show them.
Yeah.
Totally
Okay.
reminds me of
Like,
Nier.
so cool, like when people
Really
see that
good
actual
combat.
thing in the game.
Yeah, that's a super cool cutscene.
This looks like
and
Nier,
Death,
man.
War
This
and
is the first
Death will
boss
be
in
in this game as
Yeah,
well.
you can see she's
Okay.
jumping around. You got to
Near
jump over
Siders
attack. She's
3.
about to do a cool move where she smashes through the floor, and then you'll see Fury do a bunch of her traversal mechanics to just get around the room.
Cool.
So like boss fights are really like they have like different phases, and you need to like understand what's going on.
Yeah. So are you using this as sort of a tutorial section as well?
Yeah, exactly. We also just
Wow.
want every fight to be memorable in some
Stop
way.
making
Hopefully
excuses
in this
for them,
one, you're
Dave,
like,
stop.
oh, it's one where she smashed the floor and did all this crazy
See?
stuff. But
Nice.
we kind of approach every boss with that
But you
sort
need
of
to, like,
thought
play
in
the
mind.
game
Hey, we
and
want a
then
player to
play
be able
the
to walk
game,
away from this and remember some cool element of this boss fight.
So you being able to use the whip
We-
force
we
reversal,
copied
does
this
that
from
sort of
other
change the way
games,
you're
but
designing environments?
we didn't
Because
say
you want to
that.
like provide opportunities for players to swim around.
I think what we try to do a lot in this game is to make stuff a lot more organic as far as when you do traversal, when you do
Love it.
puzzles, when you do combat. And so, like, the whip, for example, is just, it's actually the same.
Her
as
love
movements
it.
are amazing.
I love that
So when you
side
jump, you just
dodge.
hold the same button, you swing. And it makes it a little more fluid as far as, like, when you're whipping around the environment. And that's
Yeah,
what-
yeah,
That's why,
exactly.
the
That's-
levels are not set up like in a room by room.
Yep.
setup, so it's not like a really big
boss fight.
like in the world, like, it's all like consistent. And you sometimes come back to spaces, get new like abilities, and can use it.
Yeah, they
a
took
lot
influence from near
like,
for
but now
sure.
I see it from different angles.
For sure they did.
How open is this world? Is this a fully open world game, or is it a little bit more?
To be honest,
It's
it
open in
depends
the
when they
sense that
start
you kind of have the
doing this
freedom to
game.
explore around however you want. And
Okay.
actually, some of the several
As in
of
who
the
was
things
in
you can kill
development
any order
first.
you want. So there's not like you got to kill this and this and that. You can actually have a choice at some point which direction you go. And the world, I mean, just like a lot of action adventure, especially in the Darksiders, the world sort of unlocks as you get more abilities.
Sure.
But I think that, to Reinhardt's point, it is more fluid how it wraps around. It's not hub and spoke. It really is like a cool intertwining world, and it's actually a really cool departure from what we did in the previous games.
Will we be spending the whole time on Earth?
Yes.
Right. I mean, barring I wasn't trying
But there's a whole bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Darksiders is always like, hey,
Man,
it's
we
a
gotta-
plus.
we're
Yeah,
more
there's stuff
excited
that
than
you
him.
would never imagine would actually be on Earth. We're like, hey, this is on Earth in our
Yeah,
world.
gotcha. We've just about tackled Envy here.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's really cool because here she gets like a talisman.
Yes,
like
Rose
the
the
seven
bird.
sins,
Because we read
with
the
that,
boss
like
on
it
the-
has a gameplay element. So it's kind of like it serves as a guide and radar for like
Yeah, the
showing you where the
gameplay.
sins are in terms of like we don't have a mini map, so we don't show the exact place, but like giving you the right direction. I mean, as
We don't
Dave
show
said,
the
like,
exact place,
You
yeah.
sometimes can decide
Damn.
which order you want to take on the sins. Yeah, and this kind of is a little helper.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah, can you speak to the decision to remove the minimap?
No,
It
this
seems
is
like more
really
and more
cool,
games
though.
are starting to do that.
I think one thing is that just the way the world is connected, it's really hard to represent on a minimap. 'Cause it's like, but also I think from a player point of view, sometimes a minimap can just give away a lot of stuff.
Well,
because
even
there's
a
a lot
rock
of
is
hidden
better
secrets
than
in this
that.
game, and you'll be walking through them and you'll see something up on a balcony or like in an alcove, and you're like, hey, how do I get that? And if there was a minimap, it'd be like, oh, I just go here, there, and there. But
You want to engage the player also more, like to feel like more connected and be like read the.
So they did away with the mini map.
Is there any sort of guide or or compass on
yeah, that's
screen?
what the amulet does. It basically it's a compass that points you towards the sins.
Okay.
And so, like I said earlier, at one point you'll see like 3 different sins on there because you can do them in any order you want, and it's just like, all right, which way do I want to go? And
But are some of them more difficult than others?
yeah,
So it's like
they are.
some of them might be much more difficult to tackle.
Yeah, he is
Yeah,
making
but,
mistakes.
I mean, it's kind of designed in a way that like it might be slightly more challenging to go this direction, that direction, but it's not untenable. Like you could still.
It's telling us a bedtime story.
What about sort of collectibles and secrets, stuff to find? Is there a lot
Yeah,
of that?
there's a ton of stuff. We don't have the loot from like Darksiders 2, so it's not like weapons dropping on the ground and stuff. But we hit a lot.
I'm
more
getting
stuff in the
tired too.
environment.
I'm not lying.
Again, that was the foster exploration.
man.
So if you
I'm
you
leaning
see,
back
like,
to my
you'll see
chair
the
now.
stuff,
My
like,
eyes are getting a little
hanging
heavy.
out a window, or, like that's hanging up on the ceiling, or how do I get there? How do I get there?
Yeah, they're represented by the.
Juanita said
different
she's got to
signs,
be.
on
She'll
the
be
ground,
back
for
in a
example,
bit.
that
So
we picked
Juanita's
up here.
gone. She's
Yeah.
probably gonna go
So-
take a nap.
When
Yeah,
does-
the idea is really to make them stand out from the environment. Yeah.
A
This is
cool
why
2
Dragon
minute
Ball-
nap.
Fueled by magic.
Dragon had already seen it.
also
You
just,
already
like,
knew.
I mean, her character.
Yeah,
I
she ran
didn't.
away.
I
I don't want to
actually
watch
didn't.
Like all her weapons. Are,
I
like,
don't want to hear
It's not like
that.
it was really good though.
Look, the guy in his
Does she
left
gain
is
more
falling
abilities,
asleep.
But does she gain?
His
additional
eyes aren't
weapons
even
on her?
open.
Yeah, she gets these things called holoforms. So one of them that we showed before in the video is her fire holoform. And
Wait,
every
was
time
it
you get one of
bad?
Those, you get a bunch of new abilities. Like with
No,
fire
the
holoform,
game
look
is
like they're at the
amazing.
worst
This game
party
looks.
ever.
she has
The
a
game
new weapon
looks
that's
and
like these
plays
big
amazing.
which She can
Oh,
actually
the
use
guy?
to burn stuff.
These guys look like they're just—they're
Where she,
talking
like,
about.
turns into flames and immolates everything around her. So you get a whole suite of new cool toys.